Welcome back, everybody. Diecast Outcast here. I know it's been a few days. I got a new job and I'm trying to figure out my schedule. It's night shift, weekends, and 12s. I've never worked any of those before, so I'm having a hard time getting a sleep schedule. But I'm getting back in the groove and we'll start doing more builds pretty soon. I went down to my local flea market, Two Gals Junk, in Salem Springs, Arkansas. They have one of the booths set up down there, and it has a bunch of miscellaneous Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars. And I found this Jaguar. It looks like it's been kid painted. I don't know what type of paint it is. There's a piece of tape on there. I have no idea why. But since it's a Jaguar, I figured it needed to be restored. So we're going to do that today. So let's get started on this thing. The body's in really good shape. It doesn't appear to be played with very much. It just was painted. Whoever did this painted the glass, and they painted the wheels, and they painted on the body. But other than that, it really doesn't look like it's been played with. It's in really good shape. I drilled it out off camera and then tapped it with the 256 tap and 256 Phillips head screws. I've got to get me a different screwdriver. I struggle with this one every time. So let's take it apart and assess the damage. We've got the body. The body was kid painted, but in good shape. Nothing's broke or scratched on it. Got the glass. We're going to have to clean that up, see what we can do with it. The interior is chrome. I don't like that. It needs to be something classier. We'll take care of it. And we got the base. It's got these Matchbox wheels on it. We're going to throw those in the trash. The base is plastic, but the front and rear valance on it is part of the base, and we're going to have to paint that to match the body. So right now we're going to do what we can with the glass. It appears to be an acrylic paint like you would get at Walmart for like 50 cents or whatever. So I'm going to put some of this reducer on here that is for water-based paint and see if I can get it to come off. And after a little bit of scrubbing with a toothbrush, it seems to work really well. So after I got all the paint off of it, I decided to dip it into Pledge Floor Care. This will give it a nice clear coat to it and make it shiny. It'll look as close as new as we can get with what we have. And there's a few guys on here that dip it and drop it in the onion saver, but onions aren't allowed in my house, so we're going to put it in an avocado saver. I dipped the body in some clean strip paint stripper, and this is how it turned out within 15 minutes sitting in the sun. The paint basically peeled off in one strip. I was absolutely happy with this. So after a rinse in some warm soapy water, this is how it turned out. Body's not in bad shape whatsoever, but there's a few casting lines here and there that I am going to file off. So what I'm going to do here is grab my Rust-Oleum flat black rattle can paint, and I'm going to paint the base and the body. This is going to be my primer. I wanted to find a paint that's close to British Racing Green, so I picked up this fingernail polish at the dollar store, and it is Loverboy. I'm loving every minute of it. Mixed up this fingernail polish from the Dollar General store, paid about $2 for it. I put it in these little glass containers. They were 6 for $1 at the Dollar Tree. Then I mixed it half and half with some urethane reducer. This felt like the perfect consistency to spray out of an airbrush. And as you can see, 4 coats later, it turned out really good. And then I went back over it with some details after it dried. You can see where I painted the base as well. And then I also did some details with a Sharpie. I think it turned out really good. So with this green, I wanted to add a little class to it. So I picked up these real riders from a different vehicle. And I think it's going to work really good with this casting. Now onto the interior. It was chrome to begin with, so all I did was paint it a really nice tan. I wanted to paint some details here and there, so I went with the Apple Blossom cheap 50-cent Walmart acrylic paint and add a little bit of the paintbrush thinner to it, mix it up. And I'm just going to paint up a few details here and there with it. Got some orange that we're going to put on for the turn signals here. Please just keep in mind all these little subtle details that we're putting on adds up at the end. We painted the body with green fingernail polish, and then we went over it with a Sharpie and a chrome Molotov pen here and there. I went back over it with some 2K urethane clear. We're going to put it in a glass that we cleaned up and dipped in a Pledge solution. And then the interior we painted tan, did some details on the chrome bumpers here and there. Now we're dropping in our custom reel riders. Now we're going to screw the base back on, and then we're going to show you what we started with. This is a Jaguar from Matchbox. I found this in a box in a booth in the back of a flea market, and I thought it would be the perfect candidate for a restoration. So if you like what you see, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and this is what we ended up with. And I'm really happy with the results. I think the paint is perfect on it. I like the shine. Make sure you send me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think a different color would have been better on this. I really appreciate you guys. Here is some glamour shots. Once again, I thank everybody for checking the channel out, and stay tuned. We've got a whole bunch of fun stuff coming up.